Upgrading your bumpers from the factory setup is always a great way to gain some extra protection for your Jeep, whether you're on road or off-road. This Barricade heavy-duty rear bumper is a simple and affordable way to get that protection for the rear end of your 87 to 06 TJ or YJ. This will also give you a more aggressive look and will add some recovery points, both positives compared to the stock bumper. This is a standalone bumper, so it will not come with the option for a heavy-duty tire carrier, so if you do plan on running a larger tire in the future, I would keep that in mind while shopping for bumpers. Install is super simple at 1 out of 3 wrenches on the difficulty meter, and we'll show you how to do that in just a minute. This is made of 3/16" steel plating with a tough black powder coat finish that's going to resist any rust buildup on the steel. Compared to a lot of other rear bumpers that we offer for the TJ, those are smaller and thinner, and this one is bigger than most of those, so it's going to protect more of the back end of your Wrangler. With it being bigger, it still fits really well and provides pretty high clearance so you can enjoy good departure angles while you're out on the trail. Speaking of high clearance, the tow hitch point on this bumper is high clearance as well, and it's built in for recovery. I would like to mention that the hitch is not tow rated, but it can still serve as a mount for recreational items like baskets and bike racks. This also comes with 2 9,500-pound rated D-ring mounts and 3/4-inch D-ring shackles, so you won't have to outsource for any additional parts. Now, I did mention that this is a standalone bumper, so it will not come with a tire carrier for a larger tire. However, this does have a cutout in the bumper to accommodate a larger tire if you were to go with that option in the future. This is currently one of the least expensive rear bumpers on the page, coming in at around $260 at the moment. I think that this is a steal if you compare it to the other bumpers that we have on the page. We do have some lower priced options by LOD and Smittybilt. However, those are the smaller bumpers that I mentioned, so they're going to be about half the size of this one here, and they won't include things like D-ring recovery points or a cutout for a larger tire. Now, once you get a bit higher in the price range, you're going to start seeing bumpers with tire carriers and other standalone bumpers that are a little bit more advanced and built by big brands like Rugged Ridge and ARB. I think that this is the best of both worlds since it has options for recovery, thick steel, and a bigger area for protection, and it's still affordably priced. Install is completely bolt-on for this one, so it's going to be a 1 out of 3 wrenches on the difficulty meter, and we'll pull the Jeep in and show you how this gets bolted up. Before we go ahead and install the rear bumper, we're going to take off the spare tire just to get it out of the way and give us a little bit more room to work with. I have a 20mm socket and an impact to get it off. So in order to gain access to the bolts inside the frame that hold the bumper on, we have to take off the bumper end caps. So we're going to take off these 2 10mm bolts here. You might have Torx bolts, but this is what we have holding on our end cap. We have a 10mm socket and an impact wrench. So with these top 2 10mm bolts here, we also have one on the bottom that's holding on the end cap. Now we can go ahead and take off the center section of the bumper. You're going to have 2 bolts here holding it on. The bottom bolt, you can access it with a deep socket 19mm. The top bolt, you have your body mount here, so you're going to be able to access that with a wrench. Now with the old bumper off, we're ready to put our new bumper on, and I would recommend another set of hands for this step. So unlike the stock bumper, the new bumper is not going to come with studs, and you're also going to have 4 mounting holes to mount back to the frame. While he's holding up the bumper, I'm going to install the new hardware loosely on each side. Now that your bumper is supported by the bolts that are hand tightened on the end, you can go ahead and tighten them down. So make sure before you tighten all the hardware down that you have all of the hardware in, because you might have to adjust everything. So unlike the bumper ends, you want to put the hardware in backwards so it's easily accessible. So this area between the frame and the gas tank is very tight. I would recommend a magnet. That's what we have to use in order to get the bolt through the frame and mount the bumper up. After you tighten everything down on the bumper, all you have to do is reinstall your spare tire and you're all set. That wraps up our review and install. For more videos like this, keep it right here at ExtremeTerrain.com.